Yo! Video games.
Start the show! Yes, that's my PS4 when I turn it on. Oh, Final Fantasy VII noise. Took a little longer than I was happy with, but at least we got a new area. Biatz! I remember that thing, I think. September 6th. Ooh. Whoa. That's a ways off. Uncharted, the RTS. Predator! Predator! Oh man, I hope Max caught that as fast as I did. Looks like medieval.
And live up to the legend.
Frame rate looks awful, but looks like medieval.
From the white sand beaches to the mighty treetops.
Sugar gliders!
It is still and peaceful.
A game where you play as a sugar glider?
But if you look closer,
We've got a first look at an upcoming limited edition PS4 system. Let's take a look.
Who cares?
Halt! Hands up!
Have fun.
I'm here for you, to help take the load off your shoulders.
So, what's our next move, boss?
That's easy enough.
Why the fuck did they
you
change
okay?
Bo Billingsley?
Fine.
No shit. So, breaking down what happened at Sony's State of Meh. They obviously had a lot kind of riding against them from the first Sony Direct they did, which was super VR focused, wasn't really well received, even if you were a VR fan. So that was kind of like, you know, their first impression of doing a Sony Direct kind of fell really flat. So I think that doing okay, we've got another one coming up, so I think they wanted to try to do a little better or do a little right by fans, but they didn't obviously want to talk about a lot with the new one. So it was kind of like, okay, we're a month out of E3. Sony's not going to E3, so they could either show everything here, or they could show a little bit here, show a little bit later during E3, which is exactly what they kind of did. I feel starting out with the big Icewind Dale, whatever it's called, Iceborne, Monster Hunter expansion. That was a good call. That's a really well-received game. Sold like 12 million copies. Everyone really likes it. I think it was a good idea to start with that. They teased something of a asymmetrical shooter for Predator, which has me intrigued. I don't know. The developer has like no info on it, so I'm not super jazzed, but I remember way back, going all the way back to Monster Hunter, not Monster Hunter, Zombie U asymmetrical multiplayer, and the idea was always kind of cool. Like there was even if it didn't always come out correctly, the idea sounded kind of solid. So it's one of those. This could work, or it could kind of just sort of meh over. So. That's early next year, it sounds like. And again, I don't know much. I don't even think I've heard of the development studio. So the idea of a game that it could either be like Evolve, which I don't think anyone would be excited for, or it could be like a better version of Zombie U's multiplayer, which was only on the Wii U. It wasn't on any of the re-releases. And what exactly did that mean? Well, it basically meant like in Zombie U, you had one person who was RTS placing zombies on the map, and then the other four players were basically first-person shooting. Now, I assume this will be more like Evolve, where you'll have kind of like Friday the 13th, probably. That was kind of like a better, closer to what like a really cool asymmetrical multiplayer could be, where one person's Jason and the other people are the campers or whatever, and they have to basically have like 3 ways of getting out or escaping or finishing off Jason. So I think it could work. I think it could be really cool. I think it's something that will it's kind of like, I hope it works out, but I think there's a high chance it could just be just okay in the end and not really razzle-dazzle everyone that much. They had like and this was weird because they had like a Skylanders 4-player overhead beat-em-up, which looked a lot like a game that they showed in the first State of Play And this one had basically as an all-star, indie all-stars with it, and it looked had a Minecraft art style. Whatever. I mean, it seems like there's 2 of them coming out this year, which seems odd. Getting a look at Medieval Remake is nice, because, you know, Medieval was kind of one of those, it was a cute, fun game that sort of fell through the cracks after the first PlayStation. And it getting the Crash Bandicoot Spyro treatment's nice. The frame rate looked really, really rough coming out right before Halloween, so I would hope that they figure out the frame rate. There was, I'll talk briefly, they showed Away, which was a sugar glider simulator, which is actually pretty neat if you know anything about sugar gliders and where they're from. I believe they're from Australia natively or around Oceania. And so it kind of reminded me of a game for the Wii called Deadly Creatures, where you played as a tarantula or a scorpion. So that actually could be a fun concept. It's not going to blow anyone's mind, but it's a fun, cool time killer until the PS5. And then they did what everyone kind of really, really, really wanted them to do. And that was show Final Fantasy VII footage. It's been like almost 4 years since they announced it at E3. Obviously, it's not gone super well. If you go back and look at the timetable, Nomura even talked about at the PlayStation Experience, even in I think 2014, where they trolled everyone by saying, "Hey, here's Final Fantasy VII on PS4," but it was just a port. Like where this fucker above me was laughing about. Please be excited. He said in an interview even like, "Oh, we thought about showing the remake then, but we didn't know if that was the right time." Which means that they had known and were planning on doing the remake as far back as 2013 even, or 2014, sorry. So I don't think development's gone smoothly. They've had to add another co-director to the project. But all that being said, how did it look? It looked exactly like it did 4 years ago. I'm kind of super annoyed that apparently they got a different voice actor for Barrett. It used to be Bo Billingsley in the PlayStation Experience trailer from 2015, and this was obviously someone new and different. That kind of irks me like a lot because I thought Bo Billingsley did a really good job as Barrett, so I think this is kind of bullshit. Eris looked really good. They showed Biggs and Wedge and Jessie, but more Jessie, I think, and she does look like they've actually tweaked her face model a bit, and she does look better. It's not as horribly out of sync as the PlayStation Experience trailer was for the English dub, so that's nice. They kind of tease more to come. So, we kind of have like this sort of like bullshit glimpse of gameplay, which reminds me of the PlayStation Experience trailer, which it looks like the UI is the same, which I'm guessing that's not really gameplay. So it's kind of bullshit gameplay UI, but whatever. It was cool to see. It's more cool that they acknowledged it, but it doesn't look all that different from what we saw 4 years ago, which is a little concerning, but whatever. That being said, there was something else they said because they announced an exclusive Days of Play PlayStation, which was like, who the fuck cares? And then they're like, we're going to have a Days of Play experience. So Sony is doing something next month, which we all assumed they were going to do when they backed out of E3. So them having some Days of Play experience during E3 or around E3, that's kind of what we all sneakily suspected Sony of doing. So, yeah, they're definitely going to have something going on in June at E3 that is not E3. Which begs the question of why Betrayal Ton the E3, and that is also an excellent question because probably whatever they're doing isn't going to be free. Whatever they're going to have to set up is not some cheap little, hopefully not a cheap little nothing, but especially if it involves people getting to go somewhere and play something, then it's like, why the hell did you Betrayal Ton E3 then, Sony? Like, what's with this top 10 anime betrayal here? So. It's a little interesting because EA's done it, Microsoft's kind of done it, now Sony's apparently doing it. Like, you guys all seem to want to have an E3, but you don't want to be involved with actually E3. That's super fucking weird. I can't be the only one who thinks something's weird about that. So, that's pretty much it. Again, Square teased there'll be more to show off in June because they're having an E3 press conference in June, so we'll see more of Final Fantasy VII Remake there. We'll obviously be seeing probably more Sony stuff at their whatever their days of play is. So yeah, that'll be more to come. This was a lot better than their first one because at least it showed kind of like actual games that people are interested in playing. People will be upset with me for saying that because, like, I know VR users are probably pretty excited about some of the VR games they showed last time, but me being not super into VR yet, I think it's really neat and really cool, but we need to get more full experiences like RE7 before I'm ready to dive full scale into VR. So that's just me personally, but I feel this was a better, even though it was really short, I feel like this was a better call. This was handled a lot better. Obviously, it had a game everyone really wanted to hear more about. So, that being said, that was a much better state of meh from Sony than last time. So, and obviously I'm going to be chunking this out for a video. So let me know what you guys think about the Sony State of Play for May 9th, 2019. And I will see you on the channel.